Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Inside the Mind of Traders. It's been a hell of a long time since I made such content, so forgive me if I become rusty. I just want to talk about my experience as someone who is now beginning to teach other people this method. So I'm going to kickstart it by saying, you know, when you learn something that begins to work and you modify it and you back test it to the point where you feel like you know about the markets because you've made a lot of money. Now, it may vary how much is a lot of money to you, but for me, to be able to make 8K in a trade, 8K in a month, 2K in a month, I would consider that being on an upside than people who claim to make millions per month. So just right off the bat, let's take it out of the window that we are not the people who promote making millions. We are just the people who promote the knowledge, and we are the people who are trying to make you guys understand that for you to get away from the 90% mentality, you need to take this seriously. You need to take your trading super seriously. And I will speak for myself, man. I will speak as a conciliary to the students. I will not speak as Leo, because Leo has his own personal journey as a generale. So I'm speaking as someone who is now beginning to teach. And, I've been teaching a lot of you on the group. Some of you have been going, getting in, getting out. And I start to wonder to myself, like, what is the problem? Is the problem the method? Is the problem how I teach? Am I too hard on people when I give them the lessons? Like, when I expect people to wake up at a certain time to build themselves up before they can trade, is that wrong? When you start to be a teacher, you start to understand that, being a teacher comes with a lot of responsibilities. You need to tap into people's personal habits, because touching into the habits of people, it exposes them whether they're going to be a great trader or they are going to struggle. And it's now that I'm starting to get a broader perspective of that type of a thing. People are so focused on the patterns, the pattern, that they neglect that for you to be consistently profitable, it needs to align with your psychology. That's why most people, they talk about the psychology of trading. But now, on Xtrillions, I see a lot of problems inside of the chat room. Most of you guys, you have a problem of not staying out of a winning setup because I say so. What do I mean? Most of you, when you see a beautiful trade and you are a new student and you see something that you have seen on YouTube or on the lessons that we give you, it's very hard for you to see it live as it's happening without not being in the trade. I did not make that type of a connection. I did not understand why people are so eager to press the button because they are starting to learn the method, only to find out that people, they don't mind learning, but what they do mind is cutting themselves off from actually being part of that actual pattern. You want to trade that pattern without understanding its psychology. You want to trade that pattern without understanding the history of that pattern, without understanding that you first need to build a psychological experience. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm going to try to keep this one very short and sweet. People do not want to learn and not make money. You want to learn while you are making money. That is not going to work. It's one thing to see a pattern form that you have been studying for like 2 weeks, but for you to be super detailed, you need to let yourself miss out on the trade so that you can understand that for it to work, what happened? You saw it, you waited for it, and then it went according to your according to your actual projection, which is good. But what you do not understand is that when you sit back and look at the charts and look at that particular setup form, it builds some, I don't know how to call it, man. It's like the internal confidence or the internal psychological affirmation within yourself that you are doing the right thing. Because whenever the psychology is strong and the method you see it, you will later on begin to make all the money that you have missed. And you cannot even think of it as you missed that setup. It is that you let that setup go, but you watched it happen over time and you kept on watching it over and over and over again. So now, based on the experience that you have seen it form, you know how it forms, when it's going to drop, and what are the nuances that will make that trade go. Then it is where you can be able to start making your trades. But most of you guys, you do not do that. And I kept scratching my head over and over again about the student's mentality. You guys, when you join any type of a mentor, any type of person who promotes how to think, you want to be in the profitable side when you get in, without understanding the deep psychological builds that you need to go through. That's one thing that struck me. And I took this from Mark Douglas. I was sitting and trying to find out, why is it that I cannot get most of the students to understand, only to find out that he is saying the same thing and he is teaching like 80-year-old people. He's teaching like 70, 60, 50, 40-year-old people. This is where I was like, aha, this thing is not just me who has this problem. This problem is universal from all the teachers, man. It is that no matter how we teach, you can follow Tim Sykes, you can follow Steve Mauro. The problem is that you guys, you want to enter into the realm of trading. You want to have a mentor. You want to be taught, but you do not want to allow yourself to actually be taught, to actually step back from the markets and take the books and go and learn and go and take the notes. What you want to do, you want to learn while you press the button. And you do not understand that this is why most of the people, they do not make it in the markets, because you do not let yourself to fully absorb the full information it takes. You just want to step in and learn a few patterns and start trading. That's why you guys fail. That's why you fail, man. The problem is not the teachers. The problem is you. Even though people can show you how much money they make and how they actually make it, but you guys, you are so eager to trade that you do not let yourself build the psychology needed to trade. And when Mark Douglas said this, I was like, yes. That to me was the aha moment, that people do not want to allow themselves to study like 10 to 11 or a year. They don't want to even think about giving themselves a full year of pure studying without pressing any buttons. This is where I was like, yes, that's why you people are losing. That's why. So, you guys, you need to change that bloody mentality, man. You know, we are here for the hard talk. We are not here for the small talk. We are here for the hard talk. And the hard talk here is that if you do not let yourself build the psychology that you need by actually stepping away from the market, stepping away from pressing the buttons, and actually giving yourself the time and absorb the information that we give and absorbing the information that Mark Douglas gives, and actually immerse yourself for like a year. You need to immerse yourself, man. You need to be able to say, you know what? I love this business, and I know that it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. I know that. So why in the hell am I in a rush to press the buttons just because I know a few patterns? Let me know that I understand the patterns. Let me back test the patterns. Let me be able to absorb the psychological aspect of this pattern. Let me dive deep into understanding what makes this pattern go and what makes something that looks like this pattern fail. What are the variations of these pairs? How is it that this one went and this one did not go? All I'm saying to you is the knowledge that you need to build within yourself. You guys, do you understand what I'm saying here? The problem is not the information. The problem is how you perceive and how you absorb the information. And I came to understand that you guys, you do not absorb the full quality of the information. You do not. What you do want, you want to absorb half of the information and you take half of your knowledge and you try to implement it in trading because you simply want to press the button because you are so eager to test it out without even testing out your psychology in the first place. Stop doing that, man. Please take your trading seriously. Stop slacking. Stop thinking you know when you don't. Start educating yourself. Start taking the information of the mentors that everything else in the world, it takes time. A tree to have the fruit and to be the most beautiful tree, it takes time to grow those fruits. It doesn't just grow fruits in like 2 to 3 months. It doesn't do that. It takes time. So you should also take time in yourself. Take time to understand that for you to last long in the business, you need to absorb as much information as you can before you trade. Anyone who enjoyed this video or this voice note video, please give it a thumbs up. Please comment. If you have any questions, send them below and I will get back to them, man. Take your trading seriously. This is Lash and I'm out.